Sei and Reiji's old rival returns, and there's a mobile suit battle royale that's a feast for the eyes, in my review of Gundam Build Fighters, Episode 11. This episode was so good. I know I've said it a million times before about this brand new Gundam series, but boy does it pour on the fan service. You could pour it over pancakes, so thick and rich and delicious. This was an awesome episode, not only for the fact that there was like a 15-minute long action scene which involved multiple mobile suits from all over the Gundam universe, but we also get the return of Tatsuya Yuki in his brand new Gunpla, and he has a brand new name as well, which is Meijin Kawaguchi, and we get an explanation why. Apparently, sometime in the past, there was this one grand, glorious Gundam nerd who was like the best at building Gundam models, and it's just really funny that someone worships some guy for this, but still, the point is, he was like the best at it, and he was given this title, and apparently every couple years when there's someone who's like this, they're given the title of Meijin Kawaguchi, and that's what he's doing now, and he's sort of putting on like a big act. He just sort of realizes that he's accepted this role, but he's still Tatsuya Yuki at heart. There's even a scene where he goes back to being in his normal persona for a second, and he even laments over the fact that being a Kawaguchi is very exhausting. But the main focus of this episode is the second period of the Gunpla World Tournament, where they're going to have this massive battle royale, which is just a feast for the Gundam fans' eyes. It is incredible. There are so many cameos from so many different series that I really can't name them all, but just some notable ones that I saw in this episode that really caught my eye. First and foremost, I love Gundam Wing, so there were a lot of those guys in this one. There was an Epion, and it had a green color scheme, and it even went around in its dragon mode a few times. There was even the Gundam Dynamis from Gundam 00, and it was using its signature sniper rifle. And I actually have that Gundam model, so seeing that was really awesome. There were also a lot of other classic ones, like I think there was a Dom. And there was also this scene that was really great where you got to see Kawaguchi using his brand new mobile suit. The Camphor Amazing, this goes along with his Zaku Amazing. And it's really cool. You know, it's nothing that crazy or flashy, it's just really quick and awesome. There's a scene where he's ganged up on by these 3 different mobile suits, and he ejects these guns from his back, and then he just throws knives at their faces, and then just grabs the gun in midair, and then just starts shooting. It's really friggin' awesome. The last 2 battles of the episode are a little more focused. The first one is Sei and Mao teaming up against the Thai champion Luong in his big Heracross mobile suit. I don't know what series that one's from. It's probably one of the few Gundam series that I have not seen. I think it's from Turna Gundam, which unfortunately everyone says is like one of the most unique and incredible Gundams ever, and I can understand that from seeing a lot of the mecha from that series, but I might be wrong on this one. If somebody could let me know what this weird, like, beetle-looking mobile suit is from, you could let me know with your comments below. But getting to see him fight against Sei and Mao is really awesome, because obviously he's no slouch to battle. He's really showing them he's got the skills to pay the bills, and he's even got this really cool weapon, which is like this dual-bladed scythe, where there's one at the top and one at the bottom, and he's able to use it almost Darth Maul style, and it's just really fun getting to see him fight, and he actually starts to take them down as both Mao and Sei start to go into the Earth's atmosphere, and I love that aspect of it. I love how, even though this is a simulated battle, everything around them is as if it were really happening. If they're falling towards the Earth, they're going to start, like, heating up as they start to fall through the atmosphere. It's just a nice little touch. It makes the battle seem all the more realistic, even though they're not. They're just toys fighting each other. The last battle of the episode is both awesome and funny at the same time. It involves Riccardo Fellini and his Wing Gundam Fenris fighting against this giant, massive battleship that is filled with a lot of awesome Gundams. And the battleship is the GA. It is a ship that was seen in Mobile Suit Gundam in the very first series that was used by Garma Zabi, and they actually have a huge callback to that when, at the end of this battle, this guy tries to basically suicide bomb right into Riccardo Fellini. But the reason he's so, like, obsessed with defeating him is because apparently Riccardo stole his girlfriend some time ago, and all the other Gunpla users that are helping him out have apparently also had their girlfriends stolen by Riccardo, and because of that, they're going to team up and try to defeat him. And the only thing I could think of when I saw this was Scott Pilgrim. Riccardo's gonna have to fight against all of the evil exes. Just, it's ridiculous and hilarious, but it's another excuse to see a ton of awesome, unique mobile suits. And like I said, it features that nice callback to when Garma Zabi tried to ram right into the original RX-78 Gundam. But that's really not the end of the episode, because Mao comes in, he saves the day with his big old moonbeam. The end of the episode also leaves us with a really interesting cliffhanger. They're finally starting to remind us that Reiji is kind of a weird character and we still don't know where the hell he's from. At the end of the episode, the CEO of PPSE walks in, and he decides he's going to watch some of these Gundam matches. And when he sees Reiji, he freaks out, and he comments, "What is that boy doing in this world?" I don't know what to make of this at all. I don't know how to take this in a literal fashion, if what he's trying to say, he's from a different world, if he's from a different time, a different dimension. They really aren't explaining anything about Reiji and his backstory, and I think this is going to be where the second half of the season is going to take place most, learning a little bit more about him. But even after all of this, there's an after-credits scene that is incredibly exciting. All of a sudden, this massive Gunpla appears, and I'm guessing this because apparently any Gunpla can be used, so there are those Gundam models out there that are like this friggin' big, so this giant Zaku just appears out of nowhere and decides, I'm gonna start destroying all these guys. So right out the bat, I loved this episode of Gundam Build Fighters. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I have zero complaints with it. This was just an action-packed, awesome episode, and is showing that there's going to be so much to see from this Gunpla World Tournament. And there were so many things I didn't even talk about. There's a scene with Nils Nielsen that is cool, where he's just sort of hanging out while everybody's fighting, and he takes out this one mobile suit by just throwing a sword at it. There's another little funny scene where you get to see Reiji and Ayla interacting with each other, and he steals one of her meat buns to sort of get back at her later, and then he tosses her some money, and apparently it's a lot, so that's just another hint to something's up with Reiji, like apparently he's got a little bit of a dough, if you know what I mean. And then, of course, there's just all of the other action scenes, which are just ridiculous. There are so many mobile suits in this series, and that's what makes it so interesting. And that's another thing that I really love about this series, because typically in a Gundam anime, there's like a few main Gundams, there's enemy mobile suits, and every once in a while they'll introduce like a brand new mobile suit. But in this one, every episode, there's like a ton of different variety of mobile suits all over the place. It's never like the same ones, aside from like the main characters. And that's what makes this series really awesome and keep it really fresh. And, you know, it kind of makes me wish it would go on a little bit longer. I don't know how long this one's going to go on for, maybe 26 episodes, but I could see it going to 50 because they could pull so many mobile suits from the pantheon of the Gundam anime series. They could go on for so long. They could go on forever if they wanted. Not to mention the fact that they can use customized Gundams. They can make them look slightly different. So technically they could reuse stuff in a lot of different ways. But still, awesome episode right here. I loved all of the cameos. I was squealing like a schoolgirl when I saw Epion come out. Just so awesome looking. And I loved the green color scheme on it too. But just so many good moments in this episode. Too many to count. And a really just massive action scene that, you know, Gundam fans are going to love. Especially because we just love those big epic mecha battles. So, 10 out of 10. Awesome episode. Check it out. I love this episode of Gundam Build Fighters. You know that. But it's your turn to chime in and tell me what you thought about this week's episode. Did you have any favorite moments, any favorite cameos? Maybe some stuff you just plain didn't like? You can let me know with your comments below. Remember guys, before you leave, hit that like button. Give this video a thumbs up. It helps us out a lot. So, I will see you next time guys. Super Kami Guru 9000. Out.